to this. There we go. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. All right. Once again, I'm gonna get my, yep, come on. There we go. Is everybody seeing the Welcome to Success screen? Yes. Sandra, are you seeing it?
Yes, I am.
Okay, just making sure. All right, so everybody, obviously, thank you for being here. We're very excited to share this information with you. And before we get started, if you have any questions, please put them into the chat. One of us will be monitoring it so that we can answer those questions either as we go along or at the end of the session. So today we're going to be looking at what is success, of course, because to know where you want to go, you have to understand what your definition of success is. What are current trends that can help boost your success, which include niches, tropes, themes, covers and blurbs, length of books, graphic and promotion. And then what tools can you help to ensure your success or at least boost your success? And lastly, what can I do that's no to low cost to promote my book or series or yourself, obviously? And I think we have some people in here who have done some of those things I'm going to suggest. So, what is success? We all know that writing is a challenge and making it into a business is definitely, well, a sustainable business is definitely exponentially harder. It's a challenge. That's why when we set out to create an environment for a successful authoring business, we have to ask ourselves questions about what we consider to be success, because my success is not going to be your success. So these three questions are something I want you to write down. Take some time to think about them because they're not really questions you can answer in the spur of the moment. They're more of a introspection. You're trying to determine who you want to be in this authoring business. So the first one, what does success look like to me personally? And this is where I want you to avoid saying, well, I want to be like Elsie Silver. I think that's her name. I want to be like Colleen Hoover. No, please try to consider whether success means achieving a special sales milestone, critical acclaim, connecting with readers, or simply enjoying the writing process. Where are you when you look at success? What makes success to you? The next one, what are my long-term goals as a writer? So reflect on whether your success is tied to completing a certain number of projects, building loyal readership, influencing others through your writing. What are your long-term goals? Because we know our long-term goals determine what our short-term goals are going to be to get there. And lastly, how do I measure fulfillment and growth in my writing journey? Think about how you define progress, whether it's improving your craft, gaining confidence, or using your voice to impact society. What goes beyond traditional metrics like sales or awards. This is fulfillment versus achievement. Sales are the gold standard of success. That's for sure. I got to let a couple more people in, apparently. Okay, there we go. Um, yes, they're the gold standard of success is sales. But when we only measure success in numbers, we can actually feel defeated if those numbers do not measure up. But if we have other metrics to go against, like I want 500 readers to be subscribed on Instagram by the end of the year. That is something that you can also take a look at. Christine, can you go off camera? We're trying, thank you. Um, all right. So, take a few seconds, write down the questions and examine them in your own time. So that way you can have a base for what I'm going to show you. Okay. We know that what our success looks like, we can chart a path, and part of the path is writing books that readers want to read or meeting the market demand. Now you can write whatever you want to. Absolutely. I'm not saying that passion projects don't have their place, that's for sure. So I can enjoy a Bigfoot, space alien, sweet romance set in Hawaii as much as the next person. Sometimes not. But how many of them am I really going to read? Not many, because it's a very fine niche. And there are only a certain number of readers who want to read alien Bigfoot sweet romance set in Hawaii. So like many readers, I enjoy certain tropes, feelings, and settings. And romances that occur in Hawaii are one of my downfalls for a setting. But it's better when there's not an 8 foot hairy man or a green alien in my romance. Now, you may be different. Every reader is different. But if you want to be successful, you have to find the widest variety of readers that will fit your book and readers who want that book. So we can look at marketing trends and marketing needs. So, what is a trend? Trends are an overall direction of a market or product. They can be prices. So, like when Insta Loves went from 99 cents to 2.99, that was a trend. Details, thinking of details like your book blurb, your social media graphics. Packaging, of course, that's our covers. And then there's more also, and we'll talk about that in a little while. Authors should want to understand trends so that they can increase their marketability, creating products that readers want, and trends can reveal possible directions for when you're planning and setting your goals. And then lastly, being aware of trends can help you find your own niche because maybe it's something you haven't considered writing before. I actually was just talking to an author and she's going to be writing a paranormal series in the spring. And I said, you're going to want to add some popular tropes to that. And one of them we kind of figured out might be billionaire millionaire, where the genie is the female and the guy is the billionaire millionaire. And after looking at the numbers, and I'll be showing you some numbers soon, I think that you'll see how intertwining those two could really give you a little wider breadth of readers. All right. So I want to know, what is your least favorite trope? I'm going to stop my share for just a moment so I can, I want to pull up the chat. Here is the chat. Hmm. Do we have a chat? Sandy? I guess you can react. I don't know where, if I
We
see,
do have a chat.
we
Yep.
do. Where am I not seeing my chat?
Uh,
My computer has been really funky today. Sandy can attest. It lost my video earlier. Huh. Well, can you see it, Sandy? Are they
I
saying
can.
anything? You can. Oh, there it is. Of course, I start talking about it, and that's when it shows up. All right. Well, now I'm lost. Okay. There we go. There we go. Chat. Okay. Not a big fan of surprise pregnancy. Oh, okay. I can see that. Bully romance. Oh, Michelle, I think I went through enough in high school for that. Yep. Shifter. All right. Definitely. A lot of people just can't understand uh, wolves turning into humans. I get that. It's kind of outside of um, the realm of here and now. It's not reality necessarily. Omegaverse. All right, Soul. Yep. Yep. I can see that, certainly. Well, thank you. Thank you for chiming in. I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to our slides. I just wanted to take a breather and settle. There are definitely no wrong answers when it comes to our least favorite tropes, but we want to look at what are the most popular favorite tropes right now, what's evergreen, and also what's going to continue into the future. All right, slide 6. So, how do you ensure that you're writing a book that can meet the market's demands and direction and what those demands currently are? First, we're going to look at popular niches, tropes, and themes, which are often related to keywords, of course. So when we master realizing these commonplace similarities of books and in our book too, we can find keywords that will be a breeze. Then we'll touch on the length of books, looking at categories in the short and long range, and see what's selling better. Then Sandra will take over and examine covers and trends she's seeing there since she's in charge of our graphics department. And then we'll take a look at what graphics for social media are looking at right now and where they might be heading, also known as trends. And then we'll also take a look at what you can do to be a little bit more, what you can do to promote your books and low cost, because I know that we all want to do that. We do need to place a disclaimer that these are predictions, some of them, and based on current knowledge and our research. And we'll show you how we got to these conclusions. We take from numerous places to get these trends and find where they might be going. So one of the first places that I want to share with you is, oh goodness. Okay, I'm going to share the right here. Okay, so this can be found in our learning library. So we have a learning library, and when I send out the replay of this video, I will go on ahead and include the link to the learning library so you can take a look. These are 73 romance tropes that I have identified that I think are probably some of the bigger tropes, and especially ones that tend to be evergreen, that readers continue to want over and over. This list is not extensive. Of course, we've all seen like the 250 trope list. These are just the ones that I think have staying power. They're divided into categories. So we have occupations, then we have behaviors, we have down at the bottom, we have feelings is the last one. And so the occupations are things like, of course, firefighters and cowboys, and behaviors are things like we do on purpose or because of a situation, like best friend, sibling, different worlds where one person is rich, one person is low income. It can be a cultural thing when it comes to behaviors too, like Europe, somebody from the United States. Europeans don't understand our love of ranch dressing. I sometimes don't either, but it's something that is different between us, and it can also add some rom-com to your book as well. And then lastly, the feelings here, and feelings are oftentimes the one that I see is left out the most. It's easy to write in hockey player. It's easy to write in best friend's sibling. It's not as easy to write in a feeling trope. So like afraid to commit. And sometimes we do these subconsciously, but we need to realize that they're there so that we can use them as keywords. Enemies to lovers, huge right now. Forbidden love, two people who weren't supposed to fall in love, not good enough for them. Opposites attract. Redemption, that's obviously a lot of like mafia or soldier can be redemption as well. Scars from the past. Sometimes we think of scars from the past as more something tragic, definitely, very tragic. A family who died in a car accident, it says there. A wife died in childbirth, sorry. So these are all ones that you can take a look at. And again, I will share that with you. So realizing tropes, first step, 100%. Okay. I'm going ahead and stop that share and get back. Okay, so um, where do we find these tropes and niches? Share again. All right. So where do you find them? These are the four places that we go to. And or I go to, Sandy goes to them with me, that type of thing. So Amazon first, it's best for what's hot right now because it's a sales place. So they have, of course, listings of bestsellers. So obviously that's what's hot right now. So if you are a person who is able to write a short romance in a week, and keep pumping them out, you can do well with Amazon by just going to the tropes that are on there. But you can also use it for what's coming, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. This is also what's staying hot. So evergreen tropes can be found in there. You can look at pre-orders or what's coming or new trends, but since a lot of authors don't pre-order until 30 days out now and not giving a long period, like big publishers have even started to lessen their pre-order periods. They used to have like 12 months they would do. Now we're down to 6, 3, sometimes 4 months. So it's hard to write a novel that fast. However, if you keep an eye on the tropes, you'll know what's going to be popular. Um, let's see. All right. Then there's NetGalley and Kirkus. And those are obviously review sites. And I know you go, well, how do I figure out what's going to be hot next? It's because that's where the big five, Random House, HarperCollins, Macmillan, sorry, Hachette, which I had to look up how to pronounce that, by the way. I've always called it Hatchet. Yeah, that's not right. It's Hachette Book Group and Simon and Schuster. So they use these to distribute advanced reader copies. So you can see what they're going to be putting out in the next 12 months. This can be a place for what's coming and what's staying hot. Because if they think a trope is still going to be hot, it's going to show up in there. I'll also add that booklistonline.com and edelweissplus.com are places to look, but we're going to keep to NetGalley and Kirkus today, and maybe just NetGalley since I'm going to have, I don't want to keep you here forever, that's for sure. I could probably go 4, 6 hours on this topic. So then we have Booksprout, which actually I didn't have it on this slide. That's why I was going to say Publisher Rocket. And then I added it because I realized it's a fantastic place to go and see what's coming because it's also an ARC distribution site. So you as a reader, you can click on this little button up at the top and I'll show it to you. As a reader, you can click on it and then you can go in and you can see what's hot too. And then lastly, Publisher Rocket. And you may or may not have heard of this. This is actually a purchased product. I'll be demonstrating it. And you can go right to publisherrocket.com and get it for yourself. I'm not giving out any affiliate codes. As a matter of fact, mine expired 3 days ago, which was fortuitous. So you can go on ahead and get that on your own if you find value in the product. And I'm going to demonstrate it. But first, we're going to start with Amazon. And I'm going to go on ahead and stop that share so I can pull up. I swear I had Amazon here somewhere. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. So obviously this is Amazon's dashboard. Oh, I can get rid of my alley cat in the cart, I guess. Okay, so this right here is how can I say how you get here? Let me put this over to the side. Let me go on ahead and just do Amazon.com so that I can show you how I get here. So I go up here to all departments and Kindle store. Are you guys seeing this screen? Just making sure. Somebody pop in. Yes?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Kindle store. And then I don't type anything in. You can see that I've typed other stuff in the past, but I don't type anything in. And it gets me to this screen. Then I go into Kindle eBooks. And then did I hit that right? Yes, Kindle eBooks. And then I come up to categories and I go to romance. And this is where you can tell what Amazon thinks are the top tropes. They list them out. And if you hit this little button, you can go to subgenres and you can see. And pretty much this is the order that they believe is most popular. because they're going to put what they think that people want to buy at the top. It's not by alphabetical order, obviously. So it's obviously, you can also see some key words inside of this and what might be coming. Sorry, Brianna. Secret Baby might be coming up. Workplace Romance might be getting. So you could take a snapshot of this every single month and see where are they getting rearranged. What's moving up is royalty and aristocrats moving towards the top of this. Is billionaire romance moving towards the top of it? Now they lump it into two and then they also separate this one out just singly. Enemies to lovers, I would think would be higher on here, but however, they're considering it, I think, a second trope inside of it, and usually contemporary is the first trope and then enemies to lovers. So I think that this is an interesting place to go to take a look at what is popular. You also can obviously go Amazon best sellers romance right there. Best romance. Now we get a screen of what might be the most popular books, obviously, in buying, what people are buying. We're seeing that hockey, obviously. Hockey is there. We're seeing, what else are we seeing? I'm gonna get, and I want to be sure that everybody knows I'm concentrating on contemporary romance, but however, these apply to all other subgenres of romance as well. So you can use it for fantasy, romantasy, LGBT, any of those. So choose the category that works best for you, like over here on the right, so that you can take a look. But I'm just doing general contemporary romance, basically. So we're seeing a little bit of everything in this in the top, but obviously hockey is there. This one is, it looks like a beachy kind of romance. And let's see. My favorite lost cause. I did look it up. It's billionaire millionaire. I made sure that I clicked on some of them last night to make sure I could see what they were. So my favorite lost cause. Thought that was a cute one. Outlier actually ends up in the what is that one? That's right, neurodiverse and grumpy sunshine enemies to lovers. Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which was actually lower yesterday than being here. So this one is a grumpy sunshine, small town, spicy, found family. We've got Till Summer Do Us Part, which is fake romance, caught in a lie, afraid to commit, and billionaire again. And then Vows We Never Made, which was I just picked a few of them. Vows We Never Made, which actually was a lot higher last night. So, Vows We Never Made, Grumpy Sunshine again, obviously, Best Friend's Brother, and Marriage of Convenience. So, obviously, in the similarities categories for these, we have Grumpy Sunshine, Fake Romance, and Billionaire. So, we'll be taking a look at some of those when we do Publisher Rocket. So, we're going to add them to a list, and I started a list. So we're going to navigate our way to 1 Hour Romance now. Oops. Because I know a lot of us are Insta Love or short writers. And I'm going to say that some of um, these ones right here, they're usually a Amazon series. So as much as I want to include them, I know that they're going to probably put them at the top of the categories no matter what. And since they are 1.99 and usually sometimes 99 cents, I think that we don't want to be comparing ourselves to somebody who's priced differently than what we want to price. So we start dropping down here and we start seeing um, wrong number, right mechanic. So obviously this is going to have a mechanic inside of it. Um, this, we also have a firefighter, of course. So we like firefighters, certainly. Lumberjack down here. We also have some of the beast human category over here if you like paranormal. A little LGBT, more Mountain Man Plus. I think maybe that, Oh, nope, that says farm girl, flirty farm girl. So Mountain Man is definitely up there. I know nerd romance is also starting to get a little bit hot. I saw a couple of those in here. Soldier, military, and obsession seem to be high on the top. This is also hockey. Merry Brutal Christmas. That's a puck, I'm assuming. So, and then let's go to 2 hour so we can take a look. 2 hour romance, Amazon. Any questions in the chat, Sandy?
Yes, we do have a question. It's a strip in Amazon that says
Whoops, I lost you there. You cut in and out.
there is one in the chat if you want to take a look at it.
Okay, all right, I will pull it up. Let's see how I do that. Well, I'm gonna stop my share so I can look at the chat. Okay, how do you get the strip in Amazon that says books? So when you typed in Amazon.com, did it look like this? Tammy, you can unmute if you'd like to.
You don't
Okay.
need to share your screen.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Sandy.
I
Appreciate
went to Kindle store and you had that strip on there that said Kindle ebooks right below like the Rufus and the all. There was like an see you've got let's see. Well, you don't now, but you did.
it. Yeah, there's Rufus right here.
Okay, so if you go to the all and say and you
Yeah,
went to there and said Kindle store.
right. Okay. And then just hit enter.
Okay.
Yeah, don't type anything into the search box. Did you get there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry, thank
that's all
you.
right. No, good question. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So we are going to go to 2 hour short reads just to make sure we get a little variety for Insta Love. Mm, Okay, right there. I could use the sidebar to get there, but I just think this is easier. So again, these three, probably Kindle, or probably Amazon led. Um, multi-author series. So I'm probably gonna skip over those. And then we have Stone Cold Cowboys over here, and I have seen some more cowboys in these categories. Lumberjack again, Ready, Willing, and Able. That one's fake dating, small town hijinks, sizzling chemistry, and opposites who can't stay apart. Plus swoony rom-com, which I love. Ghost Angel is over the top or OTT. That's what that stands for. Scorching Hot, Age Gap MC. I'm saying these things because a lot of people in this group are new writers, so we want to make sure that we are inclusive. We tend to use a lot of acronyms in romance, HEA, OTT. Um, I can't think of any other off the top of my head, but we want to make sure everybody understands. If you don't, put it in the chat. We'll take a look. Okay, and then Marked by My Stalker, this one over here by Chloe Summers, Curvy Girl, Age Gap, Mountain Man Romance. And you can see the Mountain Man by the little logo up there in the top. So now that we have some keywords to take a look at, um, we're going to look at NetGalley for future arcs and see what other publishers are looking to do next. So let's type in NetGalley. And I bet you didn't know that you don't even have to have a membership. You do not have to do anything in order to look at what's in here right now. So what I would like to go to is recently added. And actually, I'm going to narrow down to romance right now and recently added books. Okay, so this is a great place to go to look at what covers people are going to be putting out in the future. And you can see the dates when the books are going to start coming out. So you can take a look at this and understand fake a chance on me. So obviously, I think that might be fake romance, of course. That's good to know. You can also click on them to take a look at what it says. Get that out of the way. Cheeky and charming rom-com. A girl's quest across India to seal her first kiss turns into finding first love in the most unexpected place. And that says fans of, which by the way, a lot of these have this perfect for fans of X and O. And something that you might consider putting into your Booksprout um, campaigns if you use Booksprout. This one right here, I thought that the cover was cute and also Fuck, Marry, Kill. Very funny. Okay. I think this is probably more, I don't think, yes, it is. It is fiction. So Ramona Carter thought she had her life figured out until she got dumped for a grandmother. One hangover and a poorly timed rebound later, she realizes it's time to start over. Reluctantly, she downloads the apps. So it's basically an experiment in dating apps. That's kind of fun. So dating apps, that's something that you should be looking at. See if maybe it's going to be something that's coming up. Um, let's see. This one over here looks definitely romance slash women's fiction. Any Girl But You. I clicked on that last night. It is LGBTQ, I believe. So it's rom-com as well. Let's see, which ones else did I do? Does that Under My Skin in here or has it fallen off? Hmm. Yeah, some of the ones that were on here last night have kind of, they've, I must not have seen that they weren't going to be on here. Home This Christmas. Um, so you can just take a look at them and you can find out. And up here, a completely unput downable, cozy and feel good holiday romance. So obviously cozy romance. How to Write a Love Story. Nope, those aren't the ones. I had Cornish. Oh, here we go. How to Write a Love Story. I went a little farther in, kind of, for these. How to Write a Love Story is mm, a summer romance book. And this one did not have a ton of um, information with it. Some of them have a full listing of the tropes, which was quite interesting. All right, let's go back. Gotta move that out of the way. All right, so I think you can get a feeling of how you can use NetGalley. Kirkus is exactly the same way, and I'm not going to demonstrate it because I am going to run long. So Kirkus is the same way. You just look inside of it. You don't have to sign up for anything. You can take a look at what everybody is doing, which is nice. Okay, and then Booksprout, obviously, we'll go to Booksprout because some of you have this. All right, so you go over to the reader area. And here's where you can find all, and I already clicked in a bunch of these things, and I did explicit so that it would show me all of the romancy kind of ones. And I did short story and novella, but we could also do novel as well, so that we could take a look if you're going
Hey,
to be.
Julie, can
Yeah.
you share your screen for us?
Oh, you don't have it.
Just now.
You guys have gotta. Oh,
Just now.
that's right. It popped out. That's right, because I went to the other one. Okay. That's right. Okay. I thought it was in the same. Can you see it now, Sandy?
Yes.
All right. Very good. Okay. So, um, I went to the reader area. So if you go for your author area, you can click over to reader area so that you can even see your own campaigns if you would like to. But here's where you can look at what covers are doing, when things are going to be coming out, summer burn, um, and also obviously these blue little boxes, those are keywords. They are tropes, single mom romance, British heroine, cowboy romance. And let's keep going a little bit. Pilot's Good Girl, Insta Love, Alpha Hero, Virgin Heroine, Bad Boy. So these are places where you can take a look at what tropes are coming or what might be coming down the line. I think there are more. Yeah, there's one of 19 pages. So I mean, you could spend another cowboy. This one's Beast Human. I think that one's probably erotica. Um, Knocked up by my accidental protector, so Silver Fox, which would also be later in life. I consider if one of the people is over the age of 40, I still consider it later in life. And I think that a couple other people have said that too in like writing Insta Love, and I agree totally. So, another place to take a look. But the biggest place where you can find bang for your buck is Publisher Rocket. Now, it is not a cheap product, but you pay once to have access to it. All right, I'm gonna quickly pull it up. I have it here. It is a product that basically you download and you use. I'm gonna, there we go, share. All right, are we seeing that, Sandy?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so Publisher Rocket is a product where you can do keyword search, you can do competition analyzers, category searches if you want to take a look at a category. Amazon ads, you can track Amazon ads on products that you have. And I think you can track them for other people's books as well. Reverse ASIN lookup, so you can look up categories that a book is in, and then they have their tutorials. We're going to concentrate on keyword search because, again, we could spend 10 hours inside of this product, literally. So, when we looked at all of those places, some of the keywords that I thought stood out were enemies to lovers, cowboy, fake romance, billionaire, grumpy sunshine, age gap, mountain man. And that's going to be plenty for today, and you'll see why. So first, we're going to start with enemies to lovers. And the thing with Publisher Rocket, it's better to start with the shortest amount of words instead of saying enemies to lovers, short romance. It's going to add those on to you and on for you, and I will show you what I mean. Let's put this at the top. And then once they have populated the keywords, you come over here to the spyglass and our magnifying glass, I guess you might call it. Going ahead and hit those. Some of these are not going to be anywhere near what you want to write or even a keyword that's something to use. And I will tell you why in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and do most of these, but you can see that enemies to lovers has a ton of keywords that are associated with it, either an extension or another genre. But I want to get these, I want to get this one as far as possible, and then on the others, I might not do all of them because I want to show you what you can do with sorting. So you can find categories that are popular. Okay, this one just goes forever. I should have chosen a shorter category. Oh well, it is a Sunday. Okay, this one does go for a while. All right, I'm going to stop right there. And sorry for those that might get a little bit seasick with my scrolling, I apologize. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to sort based on monthly earnings because we want to know first and foremost, is this category performing? Okay, so we're doing the opposite way. Now we're doing the top sellers to the bottom. But you can see this category, it's got some good sales in it. I mean, we're pushing 50K for one book because this is the average estimated average monthly earnings of the top books that rank for this keyword. That's not too shabby, right? And this is the estimated searches per month on Amazon. Now, when you flop over here, what you see is the competitive score. And this can range from green, which is low competition, up to red, which is very competitive. And then in the middle, you've got this kind of gold yellow kind of color. I'm sure it's supposed to be yellow for, stop, pause, go. Yeah. So this one, moderately competitive. Now the average price for some reason, oh, I see why. And this is something that you have to look at every time you go into Publisher Rocket. The ones that say free in them, it's not a great it's not a great category to look at because they readers may be typing in that keyword, but you don't want your book to be free all the time, certainly. And also, as it says here, Rocket has flagged this keyword because Amazon recommends not to use time-sensitive statements like new, on sale, available now. If this keyword breaks this rule, it's not recommended to be used. And so they also say books. Kindle Unlimited is another word that you shouldn't be using in your keywords, but that's another presentation altogether. So, what we want to look at, some of these you're probably going to see like author names with them, and obviously we can't use author names either with our keywords. You also can't use like titles of other authors' books. However, sometimes a title will be a keyword like single dad. So enemies to lovers, single dad. If that was their title of their book, there's no reason that you can't use that as a keyword, certainly. But I would skip this one right here. I would come down to enemies to lovers fantasy. Once we take a look at that, we see that the competition is kind of moderate. We see that there's plenty of searches on it per month. It's getting great sales per book at the top. Pricing is relatively in the middle. Number of competitors, it's above 10,000. What we're trying to look for is something that's in the range of 10 to 15,000. And then average pages. These tend to be longer. Fantasy books, they need a world. It takes a time to build it. When we look down here just at enemies to lovers romance, we're getting a great number of searches, but we have very high competition. So what you're trying to look for is something green in this category and something green in this category, or green and yellow kind of thing. So we come down here, and this says Reckless Obsession and Enemies to Lovers Irish Mafia Romance. Now, granted, I believe Reckless Obsession obviously is the name of a book, but what you can take from this keyword is an Enemies to Lovers Irish Mafia Romance. Extrapolating that out, you've got a great number of searches, got a moderately competitive category. It's earning a decent amount of money, obviously, at the top, a good price, and there's 10 competitors in that category. This might be something if you like to write mafia romance, add in Irish and enemies to lovers as your secondary tropes. We also have that's audiobooks. That's not what we want to look at. Right here, enemies to lovers, comedy romance. Now, the thing is that this has a lot of competitors in it, but Publisher Rocket thinks that there's still time for it to grow by giving it a low competition green score. Right now, it's getting about 1,007 searches per month. I mean, earning that on one book would not be bad. We've got hockey in there, but hockey, very competitive. It's a hot right now, obviously. Let's see, enemies to lovers, age gap. So you get the idea with this. We can find niches to put our books or to write our books in. Enemies to lovers, billionaire. Relatively low competitors, average price $3. $3,600 per top book. Estimated searches almost, I mean, probably going upwards of 1,000, and it's moderately competitive. So once you see the billionaire category that I'll go to next, I think you're going to see why billionaire might be a decent category to add into your books. And then, I mean, all of these keep going. You can see little ones, of course, enemies to lovers romance, male, male, um, enemies to lovers arranged marriage. Um, ones I would probably stop somewhere around 2,000 per book And anything below that is probably either an emerging category or it's just not something that readers are looking for. And obviously, anything that has under 100 searches per month, it's probably not a good bet. You want to look for something green, green, or something yellow, green, green, yellow kind of thing. All right, does that make sense, everybody? All right. Oh, thank you, Saul. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's look at another one. And you can just do a new search right here. Let's go billionaire. And again, one word, trying to keep it simple for the system so that it pulls up everything it possibly can. And again, this one I know is a long category because there are a lot of books that are billionaire, but there are also some niches in here and some smaller tropes that I think are starting to look pretty good. I would have done all of this before, but oftentimes it'll kick me out if I do too many of them. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let it populate for a second. Take a drink. All right. Oh, nope, want this one. All right. So, mm, we're looking at right now. We're looking at the top books and earning in, oh, this is a series, so we want to not look at that, but we can look at the second one, billionaire romance books. Now remember, books is not a term that you have to put onto your keywords. You can leave it off, and the system, it sounds like, now don't quote me here because Amazon's system can uh, do a little of this. Sorry, just making sure. Okay. All right. Their algorithm, it changes very frequently. So you can put it on there, but you don't have to because the algorithm automatically adds books and Kindle Unlimited to most keywords. So that way readers can find them if they type those extensions in. So what we're looking at right here, billionaire age gap. I thought this one looked pretty promising. There's 3,100, 30, almost 3,150 in searches per month. We're getting a green competitive score, low competition. And the average monthly earnings, we're setting about $13,000 for the top books. They do sit a little bit lower in price, but I think a $299, $399. Now, the length of the book, I think that that's getting pretty extreme. I would say that anything that's 300 to 350 still fits within this average pages because you've probably got some. What that probably is indicating to me is that there are collections of books inside of this category. So that way they're an anthology or they're a collection of an author or multi-author series kind of put together. So number of competitors still sitting relatively low compared to just Billionaire Romance, which sits at 50,000. Um, coming down here. See, this one right here, Contract of a Billionaire, Eva Winters. That's actually a book that's in there. But again, what you can see in here is Contract of a Billionaire. What do we think that is? It's probably contracted love. So it's a arranged marriage, possibly. I don't know, but I would say that that is possibly something to look at as well. So we take a look at these categories in order to find out what we might want to write in the future or what tropes we can add to make our books more popular. And when they get higher on the search, more readers get to see them, more readers click, more readers read. If you're in Kindle Unlimited, they read for one single price. If you're not, they make a determination. Is your book by cover, blurb, and rankings? Is it something for them or ratings? Sorry, ratings and reviews. So something to think about there. Let's see. I'm going to do Grumpy Sunshine because that one is interesting as well. I'm going to start with this. Whoops, sorry. Okay. Because you can do Grumpy Sunshine, the keyword, one of two ways. You can do it Grumpy Sunshine like this, or the other way that I have found that gets different um, results is Grumpy X Sunshine. Let's go ahead and do this one for now. I'll go back to this one and start some of these. I would say that Grumpy Sunshine without the X is the more popular, but it looks like the X is starting to give a boost to the tropes as well. And you can use both of them if you would like to. I would probably just stick with one or the other in my keywords so I can have more keywords and tropes. Okay, now let's go back to Grumpy X Sunshine. So monthly earnings. All right, so obviously, this one is not getting any results right now. It could in the future, so keep in mind. What this means is that enough people have typed it into the search that they're starting to register it on Publisher Rocket, but there are not enough to actually make a determination if there are books out there that have this category keyword. So, or this keyword. So this one right here, Truly, Madly, Deeply, obviously, that is a book. It is earning, or the books that are using some of those keywords are earning quite a bit of money, obviously. But when we come down, we drop down, Grumpy Sunshine, X Sunshine Romance. We're sitting at 5,100 searches per month, 57 moderately competitive. So you're looking at some competition there. It's earning about 30 per copy at the top. And the number of competitors is nearing 1,000. So it's nowhere near the billionaire. Remember when we had 50,000 in that category? So you see that this has still got time to grow, to be something like that. Sunshine Mafia Romance. Right now, not enough searches. So it's not something that I would suggest that you put your time into. Clean Romance, it's not earning enough. Now let's hop over to just Grumpy Sunshine so we can take a look at it. I'm going to go on ahead and click there. Um, so Grumpy Sunshine Romance Spicy. We've got number of competitors. It's under 10,000. Average price $5. Monthly earnings 18,000 at the top. Uh, Estimated searches 1,700 and a 50 moderately competitive score. I'm going to show you something else that you can do. You can click over here on the 1, 2, 3 bar. And it's going to go on ahead and pull some more data to show us some books, what they look like that have this keyword. Now, I'm going to say that I don't always get the best data when I do this. It's not pulling every top book. It's pulling some because this one right here is pretty darn popular. I've seen it out there. This is the age. So this is the number of days since it was published. If it's negative, then it means it's a pre-order. This is the seller rank on Amazon, number of pages. This is it tells you if the book has targeted keyword in the title or subtitle. So they're keeping track of that so you can know. Granted, Amazon is kind of finicky. We've experienced where we have put subtitles in that say curvy woman, single dad romance, and they throw it back at us and say, you can't do that. It has to be on the cover or it has to be part of the book. So some people get away with it, some people don't. I don't know why. It's just the way that it is. There's a lot that we don't understand about Amazon. So this is the estimated daily sales for the book based on this ranking and the estimated monthly sales for the book. So the Duke It Out right here, they're talking about it's only been on the market for 30 days. It has a ranking in the whole entire Kindle store of 309. It has 350 pages. Remember how I was saying you don't have to go extreme, certainly. It does not have Grumpy Sunshine in the title or subtitle, which I think it does. So I don't know if this is if that's working the way that they think it is. So I'll maybe have to report that. The price is $5.99, so you're seeing a decent price for that. The sales for a day are $1,900, and then for the month, about $43,000. So you can also check those out. You can go on ahead and click on it so you can see it more. It actually takes you to Amazon, and it threw it to my other screen. So it just takes you to Amazon so you can take a look at it there. You want to keep you want to keep in mind the days that these have been on the market. You can see the staying power of this category because even 2 years in, this particular book by Stacey Williams, I Got You, is earning approximately, I'm not going to say these are hard numbers. Obviously, they are extrapolating based off of rank. So about $9,000 every month for this one book. So keep that in mind. You can add more, you can load more if you want to. But some of these, 44 days, $7,800. My computer's running a little slow because I've got so much pulled up. How often do you guys change computers or buy a new computer? Put that into the chat for me because I'm trying to convince my husband that it's time, but it's only been 2 years since I've had this one. It's just, it gets filled up with files and information very quickly and graphics. And that's part of the problem is that it doesn't have enough uh, room in it. 3 years. Thanks. But no thanks, Tammy. You were supposed to say two. Okay, so you've seen that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on ahead and go back and look at a couple more categories before I give you my final thoughts on what might be good now, good for the long term, and becoming popular. Okay. So go back to keyword search and you can click these so you don't have to like click home and then start all over again. Let's do one more search. Let's do, okay, if you had a choice between cowboy or mountain man, which one would you do? Oh, Michelle, with writing shorts, are these numbers still as relevant? Actually, I do believe they are, and I will show you here. Let's go on ahead and do shorts. I will type in short romance. Let's do that. Thank you. That was probably a very smart question. Definitely smart question. Okay, this one right here really doesn't count because it has Kindle Unlimited on it, but I'm going to go on ahead and click all of these. So how many of you are still thinking of writing exclusively short romance, or are you adding in longer romances as well? That is a question. I think that these can really, we'll try to do most of them. So since we're mostly short romance. This is more to show you what you can do with Publisher Rocket than absolutely all the numbers. Okay, I obviously have searched on that before because those came up quick. We're going to arrange them by, so short romance. It does have a lot of high competitors, and that's what I'm trying to look for, is that I believe that maybe short romance is starting to get saturated. So with saturation, you're going to fall off and you're going to see higher competitive scores. So I think that romance authors need to take a look at what are they putting their time into, and what are they going to get back for it. So right now, this is saying that the average pages for short romance books. Now remember, anybody can put short romance into the keyword on KDP and call their book a short romance. If they see that romances are selling, but their book is 476 pages long, they can still put that keyword in because, just because. So keep in mind that just because it says 149 pages doesn't mean that it's necessarily, that's an average. So you might have one that's 400 pages that has that keyword, and you might have one that has 100 pages or even 10 pages in some instances. So this is just an average over the competitors. Obviously, the top books are still earning really well. And it says that it is a great number of searches every month, and the competitive score is still sitting in the moderative range. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look for some of those keywords that we were kind of thinking. So short romance baby, not much room to go. Certainly. Each of the top books is earning about $500 a month. It's not bad. So older man, younger woman. That one is still not enough searches. Let's go by searches. Okay. So the top searches are obviously these that are kind of shorter. Those are, think about, I was talking with Piper Cook yesterday, and she and I were having a conversation about keywords. And it's not always what we as authors think of as of a keyword. It's often like emotional romance. It's a feeling that the readers want to get from it. Now, after they get through what they want to feel from it, they often will go for tropes. So, emotional romance billionaire, that type of thing, or billionaire emotional romance. So, don't forget the feelings. Again, I said that feelings are often the trope that gets left out. And I think that that might be a mistake because readers are looking for all the feels, certainly. So, what we're looking for here is category that has, remember, green, yellow, or yellow, green over here. This is Kindle Unlimited, so you can't count that category. So let's type up here, short romance cowboy. Let's see what we've got going on. But in general, Michelle, yes, um, I think that you can extrapolate this information to two shorts. However, if you see that something, like let's say that a category billionaire, it's dropping down into the 250 pages range. You know how to write a 250-page book. You know if that's a popular trope and it's a little niche, I would say that that's something that you could look at, certainly. This one right here, these are all a little bit saturated with, or these are not getting the searches. I am seeing now a leaning towards longer books. I think that people have either, okay, I'm seeing two things. I'm going to say shorter books, so 1 hour kind of category books, or longer books. We're talking 40,000 to 75, 80,000 books. So Michelle also asks, doo, doo, doo. I have a, okay. Number's still relevant. I think I told you that one. Saul, you say you have a series you want to do long, but it will be in between my short ones. I say go for it. If it's in the same realm or tropes as your short stories, I say keep the same pen name and do them all under one pen name. Romance keeps under the same pen name. Paranormal keeps under the same pen name. LGBT keeps under the same pen name. You don't want to cross LGBT and contemporary male-female romance. That is something I learned. Learn from Julie. Don't do that. Um, so going longer, also considering a new pen to do so. Ellen, love it. I think that that's great. I think you're looking at the numbers and seeing what I'm seeing. Longer is going to probably be um, something that I look at also for next year, for 2026. So that was one of my slides, is that longer is something I'm going to look at. Um, yeah, Tammy, I think she says, readers are enjoying the 2 hour romances. Yes, because they tend to stretch towards 20,000, 25,000 words. So that's a longer story. So yeah, I think either really short so that they get it in and out like at lunchtime, or a longer story that they can enjoy for 2 to 3 hours in the evening, are two of the categories. I probably the middle there, 45-minute or 90-minute category, it's still popular, but it's not probably where I would want to be. Certainly, I'd want to be 45 minute to an hour or longer. So 2 hour or even into longer novella slash novel kind of thing, giving readers that deeper romance that they really want. Okay, so we looked up cowboy, um, short romance cowboy. Let's look up. I was asking if you wanted to see cowboy or mountain man. Let's go ahead and do mountain man as the last category before I continue on, because I have taken up all of my time and Sandy needs to get in. So let's look at the like top page of results, letting it extrapolate the information. I really wanted to show you just how you use this product because I think that is invaluable. Again, it is, you do pay for it. I don't know how much it is. I will look up while Sandy's doing her presentation on covers and other information, and let you guys know. But it's pretty invaluable. Okay, I will say you can get lost in it. Like I could spend hours in here looking for keywords, but I don't. I hop in, set a timer for 20 minutes, boom, get off. So Mountain Man Romance, we're looking pretty good. This does say that it's going longer. However, I see a ton of it in short, especially 2 hour romance. So keep that in mind. Good number of competitors, still under 10,000, liking that. 299, bumping it to the three. Average monthly at the top is $13,000. Searches per month, great number of searches. That's why I believe I put Mountain Man into my evergreen now category. And then moderately competitive. So something you might want to take a look at is these smaller niches, certainly, and writing something in them and making that. Property of the Mountain Man, that's probably leaning towards obsessive slash possessive romance. So that's something that you can take a look at. Okay, so I'm going to stop on Publisher Rocket. I'll go back and finish up the other stuff. So Sandy can hop on. Sorry, Sandy. I'm running long. Did you expect anything else from me? Uh,
You're totally fine.
I'm long-winded. Okay, so I showed you where we're going to find those things. Um, all right, so you want to know what's hot now? All right, hockey, 100%. If you can write a long hockey series, it's got money in it, certainly. And again, passion projects, love it. If you want to make money, you got to write what the readers want. You just have to. Grumpy Sunshine, this is not going away. This is hot now, and I'm starting to consider it to be an evergreen, or meaning it has basically readers will want it forever and ever. Just like vampire romance is evergreen too, because readers, they loved Twilight. It got them in love with vampires. Um, Let's see the next one. Oh, enemies to lovers. I mean, literally, these are new releases that are all, and book talk. Totally. Almost all enemies to lovers. It's used in fantasy quite often, and then also contemporary romance, hockey, adding enemies to lovers with hockey and possibly billionaire. You've got a trifecta right there. Goodness. Evergreen tropes. Cowboy. Cowboy is evergreen. It's going to be firmly producing money for the future. People just like a rugged man. Readers like a guy who can jump on a horse and ride off into the sunset, preferably with them on the horse, but you never know. Billionaires, millionaires. Obviously, these are pretty darn popular, and you saw the numbers. Small town. This one, I think adding small town into your books, really, really great. And as a matter of fact, I found a keyword yesterday. I don't think I could pull it up right now. But then did I write it down? I did not, but I'll find it and then I will include it in the email I send to you. But there was a keyword that I went, okay, that's an excellent keyword. So I will find it for you. All right, what's trending? Because I'm sure that you want to know what should I be writing in 2026 or what might I write in 2026 if I feel like it later in life. We're starting to see these are both, this one I think is out. I think this one is a pre-order that was on Kirkus or NetGalley, I believe. There's also Sweet, and then there's Steamy, which that got cut off. Sorry, Steamy. That's what that means, obviously. And then, this one. I have done a lot of research on representation romances that includes mental health, diversity, and disability. And what I'm seeing is that this is an emerging sector of keywords. Mental health, romance, sports. Seeing a nice number, these are all copied. Seeing a nice number of searches per month, low competition, and a decent return per book. Sitting right around 350 pages a book, I think you could drop that down to 300 and nobody's going to notice. Mental health dark romance, 350. You're looking at a searches of 222. I think both of these are on the rise. This is a little less competitive, but it's earning more money. So it also demands a higher price. Interracial romance, we're seeing some good numbers in there. Black woman, white male, dark romance, black woman, white male, billionaire romance. We're also seeing some good numbers there. Um, Black woman, this one in the middle, black woman, white male, dark romance with triggers. Now, I'm not totally positive what that means, but I did look at it and go, okay, that could be something that people are looking for. The sales are what worry me there, that it's not quite getting the sales, but it could be something that's the sales are catching up to the keywords. And then lastly, disability romance mafia. Okay, 262 pages, 100, just about 100 competitors, $3 each. The top books are earning almost $13,000 and it's getting 13,000 hits for keywords every month on Amazon. Makes it a great competitive category. And then disability romance books about the same, a little bit more, but that's because you're opening up the genre. You're opening it up to more readers, certainly. But still, 7,000 competitors. That's not a lot, certainly, when you realize that there are now, I think I looked the last time, 8.1 million books on Amazon. 8.1 million books, I believe. That's a lot of books. So just 7,000 competitors, that's not a bad category. So, all right, that's that's the stuff about tropes and niches and keywords. And so I bet you want to know what can you do that's no to low cost to promote your book or your series. Some of these are no-brainers. These are things that you probably already do. Newsletter. You have to have one. I know that I harp on it a lot, but this is the only list that you will own of readers. This is people that want to hear more from you. And if they don't, they're going to hit that unsubscribe button. And you know what you say? Thank you for being a part of my authoring for the temporary. I'm glad that you're gone because otherwise I would be paying money for you on my list. So you move on. The second one, put a bonus epilogue for newsletter sign up in every book. That's capital. Every book. Put a bonus epilogue for newsletter sign up in every book. Okay? Swap, swap, swap. Get to know authors that write in your same genre, in your tropes, and swap newsletters with them. Concentrate on one or two social medias that are best suited for your readers. Facebook, older, definitely more mature crowd. Think later in life or even billionaire. Instagram, large age span on Instagram, videos, eye-catching, bookstagrammers. Get to know some of those influencers. TikTok, videos only, younger to middle-aged readership, funny and engaging videos. Pinterest, informational. Think about like the top 10 cowboy romances in short romance. Lists are very popular on Pinterest. YouTube, reading portions of your books on YouTube, interviewing other authors, talking about books, anything but gossip and drama. Keep those out. Book funnel. If you don't know what that is, maybe I'll do another presentation on Book Funnel, but it is a great place to find like authors, niche category, promotions where you can get them for one price that you pay each year for Book Funnel. And then promotions that are offered in Insta Love Book Blast and Romance Book Blast. And I will put both of those into the email that I will be sending out with the link to this video so that you can take a look at it again if you missed anything or if I went too fast, certainly. But that is the conclusion of my presentation. So Sandy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, I'm out of breath. I tried to rush through the last of it. So, all right,
You're,
are you ready to take over?
I am.
Okay, go on ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So now that we've looked at the niches, the tropes, and the themes, basically the words that drive the story, let's move to the visuals that actually sell them. Knowing the right tropes and the themes is only half the equation. Readers don't buy on keywords alone, they buy on what they see first. Covers and graphics are the packaging, the way that we show readers exactly what they're getting before they even read the blurb. The graphics for social media extend that message and feeds to the platforms that we've done. And if we've done our job well, that translates to sales and page reads. This is where story and market demand meet all important first impression. So we'll be walking through what's trending now and what's coming in 2026 and how we can use those visuals to build reader trust and engagement. So we've all been there and we've all heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. But the truth is, readers do, and I certainly do. Eye tracking studies have actually shown that visual impressions are made in less than a second. That's faster than a blink. That means that we have to hook customers on visuals alone. Covers do the heavy lifting as they act as the packaging, instantly signaling the genre, the tropes, whether it's rom-com or dark romance or a cozy holiday read. Then graphics pick up the baton. They carry that message to TikTok, Instagram, Amazon Plus, Facebook, and beyond. They keep readers engaged once the cover has caught their attention. Together with covers and graphics, they're your silent salesperson. They're always working in the background to try to connect with the readers and build a visual trust. So, to understand how covers work, I'm going to take you through what the four elements are that do the actual heavy lifting. That's going to be tropes, fonts, colors, and poses. Each one acts as a visual shorthand to help readers decide instantly if the book is going to be for them or not. So, tropes on covers. Tropes are the number one thing that readers are scanning for, whether they know it or not. They want to know immediately, I think I might love this book, or no, that doesn't look like it's for me. So in these four examples, we've got Feel and Pine, which instantly says mountain man romance with the rugged beard and the snowy peaks. Crimson Shadows is a quirky paranormal rom-com. It's a devil horns and bright palette that give it away. Tutored by the Smart Girl screams college sports romance with the abs and neon font. And Cosmo Cheer, a Santa hat with holiday lights. That's a holiday spice read, no question. When the trope is clear, it's going to equate to clicks. When it's confusing or mismatched, they're going to keep scrolling right by it. Fonts. Fonts are more than just decoration on the cover. They sell the vibe for the reader. So bold block fonts are going to be used more towards your rom-com. They're playful, fun, modern. Clean serif fonts signal wealth and prestige, so your billionaires, millionaires. Handwritten scripts lean towards more emotional and heartfelt. We've got varsity block fonts, which immediately says sports romance. Seasonal scripts give us kind of that holiday magic feel. Casual fonts give you the small town cozy feel. And Gothic serif screams dark romance and romantasy. Some of the key takeaways for fonts in general are cursive fonts are fading for the younger readers. If it feels hard to read or old-fashioned, you may see those clicks go down if that's your target audience. Second is you need to be able to see both the genre and have it be readable in a thumbnail size. So if you're looking at the bold font, you can still read it as it's smaller, but with the handwritten font, it's less clear. Next, we'll go to colors. So color is a fast signal for the readers in processing in their brains. So it tells the reader what the emotional space is for the book and what it should be delivering. Pastels and brights are usually for rom-coms because they're playful, light, and fun. Jewel tones, on the other hand, are dominating the romantasy and dark romance scenes. They signal drama, magic, and intensity. Moody neutrals have gray and earthy tones. They tell the reader that it's a mountain man romance or a romantic suspense. The warmer color palettes, in this example with the reds, golds, cozy blues, they instantly say small town or holiday romance. So for poses, poses and body language tell the readers what they can expect from the characters within. Models and illustrations themselves are instant trope signals. A shirtless torso, which I'm always a fan of, tells readers this is going to be a high spice read. Playful couples leaning in or laughing immediately say rom-com or happily ever after. Brooding loners give us that grumpy sunshine or rugged mountain man vibe. In romantasy and fantasy, epic stances with weapons or flowing cloaks tell us that readers are going to be stepping into a world of adventure and potentially magic. Even how someone standing with their arms crossed, turned away, gazing out, communicates emotion in a trope with one blink. So when we put it all together, you're going to see the four main elements. For Sprinkling of Love, it's a romantic script font paired with a bold sans serif that uses a warm neutrals set in a cozy, heartfelt tone. And the intimate, almost kiss pose signals spice. Together with the clear sugar and spice or sugar and steam trope, the cover delivers sweet but spicy contemporary romance. On the other hand, Guiding Light leans into holiday romance, small town vibes. The whimsical font, blue, cool color palette with warm golden tones and a cozy illustrated scenery immediately tell us it's going to be sweet, heartwarming, and low spice. Both covers are strong, but in completely different ways because their tropes, fonts, colors, and posing choices align perfectly with what the story is selling. So, cover trends for 2026, based on the five big publishing houses that have their releases out on NetGalley. What we're seeing first is that illustration is still king, but it's also expanding. Rom-coms are still bright and playful, but now we're seeing illustration carry over into paranormal rom-coms and cozy small town. Even holiday titles are leaning into these hand-drawn styles with bold, simplified shapes. Second, hybrid covers are on the rise. Some of them are blending realistic textures or photo elements with illustrated backgrounds. It's for that middle ground that appeals to readers who still want the photorealism, but also a fresher, more modern look. Third, color is still doing a lot of signaling. Bright pastels and neon scream rom-com. Jewel tones point to romanticy and dark romance. Uh, Moody neutrals align with suspense and mountain men, and warm, cozy palettes belong to the holidays and the small towns. Fourth, fonts are shifting. Titles are getting cleaner, bolder, easier to read at a thumbnail size. Sans serif and heavy block letter fonts are the trending scripts, and fonts are still in use, but almost always paired with bold fonts. And cursive only designs are starting to fade as the younger audiences don't connect with them. Fifth would be the poses in the character trends. They signal a sharp, they poses and settings are sharper signals. Steam leans to shirtless torsos, almost kisses. Rom-coms lean playful. Fantasy leans epic. Small town or holiday often skip people altogether in favor for cozy cottages or even seasonal landscapes. Finally, niche signals are stronger than ever right now. Covers are doubling down on instantly recognizable tropes. For instance, a plane for travel romance, snow and sweaters for holiday, swords or glowing runes for fantasy. In 2026, covers aren't going to make you guess what's in the book, they're going to tell you exactly what's inside. So, as far as social media, what works now and what works next? Clean cover posts are still everywhere. Covers are front and center, usually with a blurred or a color blocked background. They're simple, recognizable, and easy to reuse across different platforms. Arrows and text callouts are still doing their job. They're highlighting tropes, favorite quotes, or point directly to the cover. Templates are the backbones for consistency. Arc alerts, pre-order graphics, trope callouts, they all use a branded style that saves the author time and keeps feeds cohesive. But in the next wave, it should be looking a little bit more dynamic. Animation's going to be king with like sparkles or snowfall, glowing text, uh, things that make the graphics pop in reels in TikToks. Interactive posts like tropes, carousels, or polls will give readers a reason to stop and engage. Font is getting bolder. Big meme style overlays and neon highlights are replacing softer fonts, especially with the younger readers. The goal is to stop them from scrolling and to sell the vibe instantly. Finally, graphics are becoming an extension of the cover, so instead of just repeating the artwork, they're adapting it for fast-moving feeds, adding motion, interaction, and bold hooks so that the book doesn't just sit there, it actually grabs your attention. So, as far as social media platforms, let's start with what's working now across the different platforms. On Instagram, we're seeing carousels, clean cover posts, and branded grids that dominate the feeds. These are simple, scroll stopping, and highly shareable. For TikTok, it's all about trope-driven reels and if you like this book kind of style trends. These connect books directly to the binge reader mindset. Facebook is still a reliable source for your older demographics. It's got group events. You can do event promotion, event promotions in simple templates, things like book club posts or countdowns. On X, or as I still call it, Twitter, and also on Threads, quick cover reveals, single images, and bite-sized quotes continue to grab attention. For YouTube, it remains strong for book trailers, arc unboxings, and reviews. Readers love the behind the scenes peek into the book launch. For Patreon and Discord, if you're over on those platforms, they're where we see mood boards, exclusive reveals, and they make you feel like you're a super fan and feel like you're an insider. So what's next for these platforms? Instagram is moving towards reels and bold overlays, plus interactive polls and stickers and stories. Readers want to be engaged, not just scroll. TikTok is leaning harder into motion overlays, editing effects, and of course, short form video tied with trending audio. That's not slowing down. Facebook is prioritizing video and live content more than static images. Think about live stream launches or Q&A events. On Twitter and Threads, multi-image threads are trending, plus the rise of visual countdowns. Things that make the readers return daily is what you're going to want to try to do. YouTube is putting shorts front and center in their algorithm, and thumbnail with bold text and imagery are almost becoming non-negotiable. So you'll definitely want to include that in your thumbnails. Patreon and Discord will continue to be a home for exclusive content, but more importantly, for true community engagement. Readers aren't just following, they actually want to participate. The takeaways for this: at the end of the day, readers don't want to guess what's in the book. They want to know within a blink. So the cover, the fonts, the colors, the poses, and the graphics need to all work together. They're going to be your silent salesperson, signaling tropes and genres instantly. And just like covers evolve, so do platforms. So try to stay ahead of the trends, from bold, clear cover designs to interactive social media engagement. That's the only way to catch the reader's eye and to keep their trust and to keep coming back and buying more. And that is the end of my presentation. Do we have any questions?
Let's see. Thank you. I'm trying to get my video back up. Start video. There we go. All right. Anybody have a question for Sandra on something covers related or graphics? Anything that you're seeing yourself? Something you'd like her to clarify? Or me? Something you'd like to see from Publisher Rocket or on sports? Okay. On sports romance in the future, do you see maybe using illustrations? Sandra?
Yeah, I actually do. If you've noticed in Julie's presentation, the upcoming books for 2026, hockey is really big. And the covers on those hockeys were pretty much all illustrations. I do think it's important to say that you have to be careful with your illustrations, and that's because there's been a lot of heat against AI generated images. So if you're going to do that, definitely make sure it's not giving off that AI feel.
I agree. I think that my video is being weird, but I think that Sandy is definitely right. And the fonts, sealing that no script font or less script font. You can see that the ones that are on that, are you seeing my screen? Just making sure.
Yep.
Okay, so most of these lend more towards print script than true script, I believe. So, I mean, this literally looks like somebody just squished the print letters together down at the bottom at L. Kennedy's. So yeah, but these are all super cute. Definitely. I can see moving that way. So, all right. Anybody else have any questions? Sandy, do you have something to add?
Yeah. So it looks like there's a couple more questions
Okay.
within based on the covers. So are couples embracing more for sweet romance? Um, I definitely think that if you partner that with It depends on like the colors that you use. So if you want to have them embracing, but it's supposed to be steamy, then there needs to be some other hints as to the heat level that's in that. So that's a great question. Brianna, um, do you see any benefits for re-releasing steamy books with discrete covers? I keep seeing authors announce more new covers. So I do, to an extent, see discrete covers kind of coming into play. If you're grabbing your e-reader and you're reading it on that, there's really no reason for there to be a discrete cover. But if you are printing and taking them and publishing them, I don't necessarily know if I want a half-naked man on my book cover. Um, I mean, I'm not embarrassed by it by any means, but if you're around small children or something, a discrete cover might be better. And also, it helps generate additional revenue for that same book that you've already seen good sales for. So I think that's definitely something that you should keep in the back pocket to try to rejuvenate that information or to try to rejuvenate that book or that series. Uh, Michelle, what about covers for translations? Should they be different covers than the English original? I don't have a lot of knowledge in different translations and the covers, so I'm not comfortable enough to really speak to that. Uh, I think that if, in my mind, what I would say is that I would try to design a cover that's specific to the area or the location that I want that language to be in. So if I'm translating it to German, I might look to see what covers are popular in Germany, and what those covers look like and try to maybe emulate those. So it might be different from the English version. But again, I can't say if that actually is panning out as far as pricing goes. So that's just what I would do. So how do you make covers feel different? A lot of them use the same colors and themes. That is that is a really good question. Oftentimes when doing cover designs or new series, it's y for me, it's you get a lot of crap first. So I'll like come up with an idea and I'll put it together and I'll show Julie and I'll be like, okay, what about this? And she's like, well, let me think on that. And I automatically, whether she means this or not, I just automatically just say, that was a crap idea. So I'll
Sorry.
no,
Yeah.
that's just my process. Our process, I guess.
Yes.
And then we kind of go back to the drawing board and we kind of tackle it again.
Mhm.
So all of these are different authors, especially what you're seeing right now is that hockey page with Julie. Um, Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that the covers are great. But as you're looking at this screen right here, they've all got similar colors and they've all got similar graphics, I would say, to them. So how do you make them pop? Well, when you look at this page, like which ones do your eyes gravitate towards? And go ahead and throw your answers in the chat, and we'll kind of see what those differences are. For me, I definitely think that yeah, seal the deal. It does pop that for you. It's got those softer tones, but also it's dark around the edges. So it's dark around the edges, so your eyes automatically pull into that couple that's embraced. Exactly, yes. Font is another thing that really pulls you in. My eyes automatically went to seal the deal and match penalty because of that varsity font is what I wanted to say. So the varsity font really kind of drew me in. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the deal or face off. I think that those are awesome covers as well, but that's how you can kind of make yours stand out by still mimicking or using trends and covers that are the same. Like, how do I enhance what's already great? what's already doing well. And those are just some of the things that I look at.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sandra. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and throw a comment into the chat. These are some well-performing generic keywords I have discovered as of lately. If you guys want to write them down, emotional small town romance, cute romance novels, hot romance, and quick romance. So those are just a few that while I was searching for 6 hours yesterday on Publisher Rocket, I was able to find just a few that I thought were pretty generic that you guys might want to think about taking a look at as well. Type them into Amazon, see what comes up from the keyword search, and then do as you wish when you're indie publishing. And we will keep concentrating on keywords when we publish our books too. That is something I go in to Publisher Rocket every time we publish a new book, and I find new keywords. What is popular right now? What is happening? If I see that something is popular and I think it works for a book, I go to that book and I republish that book because I want the keywords to keep evolving with what readers want. So, all right. Was there anything else that we can answer for you guys? Or anything that you'd like to talk about? Tomorrow I will be having a 11 o'clock ACT Zoom room if you guys can make it. But after that, the rest of September will be off because I am traveling to North Carolina to see my son. So thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great weekend. Sandy, do you have anything else to say?
Nope, just thank you guys for spending your Sundays with us. I definitely appreciate it.
All right. Bye, guys.